Welcome back to the Aspins shed. It's been a few weeks since I've did a video, and so suffice it to say, I'm going to do a little one now. It is the 1st of July today, and it is a scorcher. We've had some very good weather for the last few weeks. It's been rattling 35 in the shed, which has kept me out of it for a little while. Anyway, enough with the frivolities. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What's been happening? Well, we've done quite a bit really. I've got a lot of video that I haven't edited, and whether I will or not, I don't know. It's a big job and I'm not very good at it. Anyway, what we've got is we've got a Firefly 46. This was the last engine I've made. It's the Whittaker Firefly, and it's a glow plug engine, and it's 7.5cc, and it ran first shot. I've got a bit of video I'll tag on of it running. I've got a fair bit of video of me making it, but I'm afraid I'm not good at the editing, and it bores me to tears. Anyway, that's what we've just made. Now, on the Whittaker engine, the only thing I haven't made is the carburettor. I got as far as the carburettor and I looked at the plans, and there was no details of the fuel needle, except an addendum which said the OS part number diddle 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 needle fits. So I had a look for the needle. I think the needle was £8, the whole carb was £16. Guess what? I bought the whole carb, and it fits and it runs on it. Quite handy. I've also bought an exhaust for it. I haven't fitted it yet because I'm waiting for some counter bores, because I've got to counter bore these. Unless I've got something that fits that 4mm hole to counter bore it, it's going to be difficult to do it without a counter bore. Anyway, that's that one up and running. Sounds healthy, runs healthy. We did finish the diesel version. This is the diesel based on the ball aero, but this one was redesigned by somebody who I haven't got the name on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, that's what we've got so far, and the next job I'm looking at is it might be beyond me, I mightn't get to the end of this one, is a 4-stroke engine. And the first things you need to be able to manufacture for a 4-stroke is valve stems. So I managed to produce a valve stem which is a constant 2mm from one end to the other, so that's a good start there. And the other thing you've got to be able to make are gears, and small gears to boot. These are two 12 tooth, and these are two 24 tooth. I haven't been into it too far, but I think you need a 2-to-1 reduction for the camshaft. So gears of this type not these ones, but this type, are going to be my drivetrain for the camshaft. I don't think the camshaft should be too bad for machining, but all the other parts obviously we've done before. We've done cylinders and pistons, and we've done crankcases and crankshafts. We've done both plain bearings and roller bearings, so we should be able to hopefully make a 4-stroke. The reason for me wanting to make a 4-stroke is, I've probably mentioned before, my dad was a model engineer all his life. He made numerous overhead valve engines. He designed them, he cast the crankcases, made the moulds, done all the casting in the backyard. It's something I remember from a toddler, watching him and neighbours and other people cast aluminium and cast iron as well. But it was a thing that I thought was beyond me, was building an engine, and so far I've built 3 successful 2-strokes, so I thought I'd have a go at a 4-stroke. The only things I won't be able to do is design them like my father did. He drew them and he made engines from half cc 2-strokes to, I don't know what the cc was, but he made V-twins. I imagine they would be about 15 cc, and he made a 4-cylinder engine as well. None of which I've got. He sold them all in an auction at Sotheby's, and he got his bumps felt. But that was down to him, nothing to do with me. Anyway, as I say, I've bought plans, and I've bought plans for a 4-stroke. It's 15 cc, which is quite big, so I've got to convert all the plans to metric, because I work in metric and all the plans seem to be imperial. Having said that, the plans for the Whittaker Firefly are metric. If ever you want to build one, it's metric. So for this new 4-stroke, I'm going to have to convert everything from imperial to metric, and I think in the process I'm going to cut it down to about 7.5 cc. That's why I've started off with little tiny gears. I'm hoping they are going to do the job for me. These were the first gears I've ever cut in my life. Oh, I've lost one. No, there it is. There is more than you think to gear cutting when you get into it. It's quite an involved and complicated mathematical procedure to get the gear cutting right. So I was pleased that I've got a set of gears. I've cut these 2 24 tooth and 2 12 tooth, and they work. They're not perfect by any means. I can see all the faults in them. I know what I've done wrong, and I hopefully will correct it on the next gear I cut. But it's all a learning procedure, you know. You learn something every day in this job. So that's that. Is there anything else? Oh, Aspins bought 2 books. I've bought a book. Don't do books, it's got reading in it. I only do pictures. Oh, it has got some pictures, because I need to know more about gear cutting. I've also bought the machinery, you know, that big thick machinery book of all the specifications for everything, because it's got a lot of gear cutting stuff in that. That hasn't arrived yet, but I need the information. Unfortunately, it's in book form. Where else are we? I tell you what, it's scorching here. I've done a lot to me mill. and I've done a lot to my lathe, which I made some videos about. Whether I've posted them or not, I can't remember. My Chester lathe and a DB10 smashing lathe, but we run into one or two problems. The main bearings went. I've done a video about that. I've fitted that with new bearings, and as soon as I fitted it with new bearings, the speed controller for the motor went west, and so I fitted it with a thingy, a VFD, yeah, variable frequency drive, and the motor size is the same. It's still a 1 horse. I couldn't have got a bigger one in. I've also made a steel bench to support the lathe, because you get a twist in them and you've got to be able to take it out. On wood it wasn't very successful, and I must admit just at the minute I haven't got it running as true as I'd like. I've had it running true once, but I've been doing some work on it, so I got to true it up again, and I fitted the DRO to it. So it's the dog's nudges at the minute. I can't operate it, but it's got everything. Well, we probably bought a bit of tooling. We've oh yes, because I'm not very mobile, I have to have things to pick things up off the floor, and I sat on it. But we have the technology. I repaired it. So that's that. I'm starting to ramble now. I'll find something else to talk about in another video. I'll put in a piece of that Firefly running, its first run, and we'll call it quits for now. Anyway, I thought I'd better come back for a minute or two. So bye for now, and we'll speak later. This is my Hawk latest engine, and it's about the third. This will be about the third start. I tried it the other day with not a lot of success. This is the Hawk 0.4 cubic inch, 0.4 cubic inch, and it's 7.5 cc. And that'll do me. Next job is to make the carburetor. It's swinging a 10x6 prop, I think. No, 12 or 14. Yeah, so it will perform as soon as we get a carburetor. So everything's working, all the porting's working, the intake's working, everything. Done. There we go. Next, carburetor.